Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021, and we are again in the final hour of the trading day. This has been a wild day. That's an understatement, but the last hour of the day is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions for my end of day swing trades. During the day, you have the algorithms and the day traders. They are the ones that are in control of the price. At the end of the day, large financial institutions come in, they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms, and I consider following what the large financial institutions do at the end of the day to be a good long-term edge in your trading. It'll be very interesting to see what happens today in this last hour, because this has been a wild day. I kind of doubt we're going to move sideways. Could we head on back down to lows? We certainly could. Could we have a monster rally? We certainly could. If we only knew. If somebody knows, let me know, please. All right. Well, let's take a look at said indexes. The Dow is up 71 points, up about 0.25%, but the Nasdaq's getting hit hard today, down 272 points, down 2%. That's on top of a couple hundred points yesterday as well. So the Nasdaq looks like it might be under some distribution. Just my humble opinion. The S&P is down 26 points, down 0.68%. So definitely the Nasdaq's getting the worst of it today. So this is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current swing positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a bunch of day trades today. It was a good day trading day. I have to say that when you have this kind of volatility, that makes for good day trading. And so I'll share those trades with you as well. Then we're going to go over to the board and take a look at my current and past students' positions over there. I do see some green, at least. I see more red than green, but we'll go over there and we'll take a look. After that, we'll switch gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology, how important it is, especially on a day like today. This is the kind of day that if you're heavy long the NASDAQ, that, and you get punched by the market, it can amplify your emotions, and you're a prime candidate to make bad decisions in the near future. So if you did get punched in the face today, just remember, trading is a marathon. It is not a sprint. There'll be new setups, but don't act out. Don't act out if you are feeling frustrated if you had a bad day, because hardly ever, like if ever, does that work. I'm telling you, just sit back, relax, understand that you've taken a loss, understand that is part of trading, and there will be better times and better setups ahead. So just be patient. All right, after trader psychology, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I have 3 requirements before I look to enter any trade. The first is a confluence or a combination of indicators, ideally lining up on multiple time frames. Requirement number 2, I want to make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio based upon where my stop is below, my end of day stop is below, and based upon where there is strong and likely resistance above me. So for instance, if I'm willing to risk $100, I need to be able to make 200 or more to make the math work. It's a very important part of trading. And then lastly, just kind of a hodgepodge, please take a moment before you hit that buy button. Ask yourself, do I really need this trade? Is it really important that I have this trade? Do I already have positions in this current industry already in my portfolio? Am I position sizing based upon volatility? Meaning, if the volatility has increased, am I reducing my position size? If the volatility has decreased, am I increasing my position size? Do I know where my end of day stops are? Do I know where my emergency stops are? Am I position sizing correctly? How much account heat do I have? How much of my total capital do I have at risk? These are all really important things to think about before you hit that buy button. Just take an inventory of it all and think about those things before you hit the buy button. All right. With those 3 requirements in mind, I do have some potential end of day candidates. as we get closer to the end of the day. I will go through those with a fine-tooth comb, look at the confluences and combination of indicators on multiple time frames, look at the risk to reward ratio, and take everything else into consideration that I just mentioned. And if I find something that looks good at the end of the day, I will go ahead and place the trade. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, get my opinion on, I'm very happy to do that. I've made more time in the podcast for that. So, if you're not sure on something and you like my opinion, just go ahead and let me know the symbol. And then lastly, if any of my students that have positions up on the board, if you have any new entries or exits today, if you could please wait till after the market's closed before you let me know what they are, and I'll get them all updated after the market's closed. All right. Okay, so I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, gang, let's see who is here. Let me make sure my microphone's on. Yes. Tracy is here. First up, good to see you, Tracy. Looking forward to our lessons tonight with you and Packy. Appreciate you coming. Lova is here. Hi, everybody. Hello, Lova. Good to see you. Dan's giving me the peace sign. I'm giving it right back, Dan. Good to see you. Kamal, hey, buddy. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for everything that you do for the channel. All your contributions, the scanner, everything. Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. Johan is here. Hello, Mr. Johan. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening in Hong Kong. Morgs is here. Hello, everyone. Good to see you, Morgs. Hope you're having a good evening in South Africa. Lova says TGT. It's very near a three-way convergence of its price, 30 RSI, 100 SMA. It's also holding 2-day support at the negative third ATR channel. Well, that sounds pretty good on the surface, doesn't it? Let's take a look. All those things you said are correct, Leva, but this big bar on earnings that happened yesterday, I'm just not going to get involved with that. Whenever I see one of these big skyscraper bars like that, that means there was a tremendous amount of people liquidating. If this had come down, taken its nice sweet time, and got down to this level, yes. But this huge monster distribution and supply coming in with tons of selling, yeah, it might bounce. Probably not going to go farther than here. I don't even know if it will go farther than here. I just try to avoid getting involved, especially with single stocks, when I have a huge down bar like this in the recent past. And you're right. It has held for a couple days here. It did reject the 30 RSI and the third ATR channel, but just this bar here alone makes me want to pass on that. Steve Burns is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here, Steve. Steve says, hello, everyone. Tech sector continues to get mauled. Looks like the old pandemic stocks are being rotated out of at a fast pace. Peloton, Zoom, Amazon, Teladoc, DocuSign, etc. I agree. Things not looking too hot tamale in the tech sector. Lilia, hello. Good to see you. Lilia says, hi, Greg and all. I'm so sorry I have not replied to that email. I definitely want to. I was just so busy last night. But anyway, I'm going to reply to that for a couple reasons. And then we can discuss moving forward on what we discussed. So nice to see you, Lilia. Morg says, travel and leisure sector strong today. Interesting. Johan says, I cut all long positions close to the start of the day. Bought Q puts last night at 315 strike price, expiring March 12th to hedge. Very good. Excellent, excellent. Remind me at the end there, Johan, and I'll put that up on the board. Frank is here. Hello, Frank. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day, sir. Thank you as always for coming. Mamal is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mamal. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Jonathan says, hey, Greg, and all followers. Jonathan, thank you for coming back. I appreciate that. Good to see you. Miko is here. Hello, Greg and everyone. Hello, Miko. Nice to see you, sir. Steve said, I exited VRM here at 44.71 for a 4.34% loss from entry. I had to exit before earnings. Looks dangerous in tech right now for the rest of the day. Yep. Okay. Well, I'll take that one. Which one's that? VRM. Do I have that up here? Yeah, I have that one up here. Yeah, I agree. It looks really dangerous. Super dangerous. So, all right. Well, let's get started. Gary, Kamal, and I bought AdVibe back here at 107.17. Nice higher low V1, bullish engulfing bar, all sorts of good stuff. Trigger of a fractal. Moved up here, so it took some profits. Moved up here, took a little profits. Not sure if I hit profit target yesterday or not. Today, of course, tech's and the market's getting beat up. I am going to keep this. You can see, here's my stop. Halfway of the washout bar, Lilia, right? Halfway of the washout bar. It tested it once, twice, and it again tested it today. So unless it closes underneath halfway of this washout bar, I'll stay in. If it closes under 50 RSI, however, I will get out of half. So I'll have to watch that in the end. But if it were to close right here, right now, as is, about even, I would keep it. Amazon. Well, this was a bummer. I'll tell you what. A close over the 200-day on Amazon is usually a pretty good bet. Unfortunately, it's not a sure bet, but it does offer a good risk to reward ratio. Of course, we all wish we would have closed under the 200 a little bit yesterday and gotten out and avoided this nonsense. But that's how it goes, right? I mean, trading is not just a one-way street. The market we've had in the past year has just gone up. People aren't used to losing, but this is what a regular market does. So bought the under, over, bought it at 3102.18. I'm just grateful that I took one profit target off here at profitable levels, mitigated my loss, making this less painful. Still painful, but less painful. So looks like we are definitely going to close under the 200-day moving average. I will have to get out, take a loss on this. Now, going forward, I would eye down here. Here's the 250-day. This might be a level that will hold, or an under 30, over 30. Best one we can get is an under 30, over 30, and an under 200, over 200. So I'm probably going to have to say goodbye to Amazon today, but not goodbye forever, because I know down at these prices eventually I'll hit a level that will stick. But yeah, this is going to be a loss today for all of us. Gold. All right, I did buy gold yesterday along with Johnson and Mamal. Bought it at 162.49. Bonds exploded again to the downside, which really hurt gold as well. It is down 0.97%, so a little less than 1%. My stop on my entry was an under 30, over 30. Right now it's a 29.51. I'm going to have to watch this at the end of the day. If this closed here where it is right now, I would have to get out. If it closes under 30, my position was wrong, and that's closing under 30 will tell me it's wrong, and I'll have to go ahead and just take the loss. Oh, Netflix. Netflix has not been hot tamale. Johnson and I bought Netflix with the 520 crossover. It does back test well, but this one just did not work at all. Bought it at 549.94. Big down day today, down 4.9%. The price is closing under the 5 and the 20. The 5 is closing under the 20. It is holding support at the 100, but that's not why I took it. I took it because of the 520 crossover. It is untriggering today. I will have to go ahead and take the loss on Netflix today. SPY. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight, sell it first thing the next morning. I bought it yesterday at 386.54. I sold it this morning at 385.83 for a loss. Small loss, but nevertheless a loss. But, you know, trying to look on the bright side. I'm glad I got out at the open because it's much, much lower. All right, so I did have one thing that went for me today. I have been short the Qs. I shorted 2 Fridays ago at 330.74, over 70, under 70, V1, double top with a bearish divergence. That was my signal to go short, and it's been a great short. I've already locked in 30% profit levels down here. You can see the screen line here underneath. That is my next profit target at 308.31. I would buy I would lock in more profits here. So this trade has been a good trade, and I'm glad I have it as a hedge, and because this trade is up 6.17% so far. So I'm grateful for that. All right, day trades. First day trade I took here, there was an under 30, over 30. I did not chase it. I waited for it to backfill and to test, and it did just that. I bought here the next bar when it came back to about halfway. I bought it at 138.94. At the end of the bar, I sold it because I bought it right at the low. So I sold half at 139.16. I had another big bar up. I sold another half at 139.33. Had another big bar up. Sold at 139.45. Had another big bar up. Sold at 139.64. And then I finally had a close below the previous day's low. So in at 138.94, out at 139.16, out at 139.33, out at 139.45, and 136.64. I think that's the only trade that I had on TLT. Yeah. All right, Apple. Did have some trades on Apple today. Let's see. Here we go. We had an under 30, over 30 right here, which I did buy at 123.72. A couple bars later, moved up nicely. I sold half at 124.23. Moved sideways, had another thrust up bar, got out at 124.65. Then I had a close below the previous day's low at 124.49. So I got in at 123.72, out at 124.23, out at 124.29, out at 124.65. And then, oh yeah, that was the last one on Apple. All right. Then I had a trade, couple trades here on Walmart. Had a nice higher low V2 in the value zone when MACD was positive. I got in, here's the V2, 1, 2, 3. I got in at 128.39. Let's see. I got out at 128.47. I got out at 128.61. And I think that was it. Yeah. In at 128.39, out at 128.47, and out at 128.61. And then we had this nice sideways motion here with the V2. I got in at 128.31. Next bar went zooming up. I thought I had a monster by the tail, which I kind of did. I sold half at 128.51. Moved sideways, then it came back to my entry. I got out at my entry point. So anyway, all good profitable day trades today, which help mitigate the loss on the swing trades. So today's been a tough day for swing trades for sure. David is here. Good to see you, David. Hope you are doing well. Morg says ETH getting close to a 1030 EMA crossover. Let me get my 1030s out. ETH 1030 EMA crossover. This is the 1030 I have right here, Morgs. The 10 has been above the 30 for a long time. Am I looking at the wrong symbol? ETH 1030 EMA crossover. Yeah, it's already crossed over. It crossed over way back here. Maybe double check that, or maybe double check the crossover. David is here. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Frank has a poem for us. Let's see here. All right. You can't win them all unless you want to you can't win them all unless you want to relearn that pride comes before a fall. That's true. Trade small, crawl, stay out of the market's noise and brawl. It's the best way to end up with the biggest haul. Man, how do you say that any better than that? You're right. You cannot win them all unless you want to relearn that pride comes before a fall, which it always does. Trade small, crawl, stay out of the market noise and brawl. It's the best way to end up with the biggest haul. Wow. What a poem. Unreal. Unreal. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that. Mork says Ethereum. Yeah, I put in that symbol, but I think you could see, right? The symbol that I put in was the 10 was already above the 30. Tracy says, what about BAC? Rejected the 30 RSI and the 50 SMA. Well, I will be surprised to see something at a 50 RSI as well at the 50-day. But let's take a look before I judge, right? BAC rejected the 30 RSI and the 50 SMA too. I have BAC. This is Bank of America. I have it at 68.32 RSI. Trace, did you maybe put in the wrong symbol? I mean, I have BAC right here. It's up today at 68.44 RSI, so nowhere near the 30. Maybe you could recheck that. David says, great, Frank, could not be more true than today. Thanks for the wisdom. Yeah, it's awesome. It's really good. All right, let's take a look at your trades. Steve and Gary did buy double leveraged gold yesterday based upon the under 30, over 30 on GLD. It looks like they bought it here at 55.83. It's down 2.1% today. They will be looking over at GLD, I believe, to make their decision. If it closes under 30, I believe Gary and Steve will be getting out of their position because they're using gold as a proxy for their position here in the double leveraged. Eli Lilly, I have quad in at Eli Lilly about 202.48. Is down a little bit today. Big rally right off the halfway of the washout bar and a bounce. So it looks like it's still profitable. But if there's any change there, quad, let me know. CRSP, Kamal bought CRSP at 132. It's down, it's 119 today. It's down 7.96%. So obviously down on the day and down on the trade. DKNG, Kamal bought at 61.60. Kamal did hit a stop loss today, so he is now out of this trade. BA, well, here's one that's up. Kamal bought BA over here at 217.50. He sold half. He kept on to half. This is actually up 2.41% today. So very nice, Kamal. VRM. Okay, Steve took this with the 520 EMA crossover here at 46.69. It's down 6.98% today, and this is the one that Steve got out of a little bit earlier, being concerned about the close. So we'll take Steve off of that. NVAX. All right. Frank bought NVAX at 135, doubled in price. He sold 90% up here, which I'm sure glad he did. It's come down, 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 down. It's just been in a big downtrend ever since, down 11% today. But thankfully, Frank sold 10% up here, and he's still up on the trade. Tesla, Quad, bought Tesla at 698. It is currently 656. It's down 4.37% today. Looking at this trade here, I would be interested in buying Tesla if we got a confluence of an under 30, over 30, and the 100-day moving average. BYD, Tracy and Paxton bought BYD over here at 47.38. Have had a beautiful run. Glad they bought it in the value zone. Looks like a crossover. They bought it in the value zone. They sold half here at about 55.45. Currently at 61.60. They still have half. Looks like it may have rejected the 70 RSI again today, but a little down, but not too bad considering the market. KMX, here's a green one. Steve bought KMX at 121.84 with the 520 crossover. It's currently what do you buy it at? 121.84. It's currently 122.60. So it is up on today. That's a big deal on a day like today. And lastly, NVTA. Kamal Johan Mamal bought NVTA at 40.10. Rallied initially, very nice. Kamal let me know he hit his stop loss earlier in the day, and it looks like Johan and Mamal are still in, but it is down 7.19% today. So wow, pretty crazy day. Pretty crazy day, I must say. Okay. I don't think Morgs, I can't put in ETH/USD in my charts. It wouldn't pull it up. Sorry, buddy. Sorry about that one. I don't subscribe to those kind of services as far as those kind of symbols. Frank says, "Thank you, David. I learned the hard way." Oh man. Well, yeah, that's kind of the way we learn sometimes. If we have to learn the hard way, we're going to learn the best way. All right. All right, everybody. So listen, before we start taking a poke around and taking a look at the potential end of day, new end of day entries, just want to talk a little bit about trader psychology before we move over to that. You know that I believe that trading psychology is the most important part of trading, being able to control your emotions, being able to create a plan, and then follow your plan. It's just like trying to lose weight, right? We all know how to do it. Eat better food, you eat less food, you exercise. We all know it's proven. It'll work, but can you follow it? That's the crossover to trading. Keeping your losses small, letting your winners run, position sizing correctly, position sizing for volatility, being patient, waiting for good entry signals on multiple time frames if possible. That's how you make money. But whether you can follow what your plan is a whole different thing. So that's why trading psychology is so important. And if you're not following your rules, then you need to work on that. You need to improve that part of your game because that is the most important skill. So look, this is from DFX Sniper. I don't know who that is, but this is over on Facebook, New Traders, Rich Traders, which is a really good channel. If you haven't come over and subscribe to that channel, come on over. I think you have to apply. But it's a great channel. Steve's in there, Tom Bassel's in there, Kamal's in there, David's in there, Gary's in there, a lot of people in there. I'm in there for what that's worth, right? But it is a really good channel, has good content, and this is from DFX Sniper at the New Traders, Rich Traders. This is pretty simple, everyone, but this is so true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 words. 12 words that could really change your life if you internalize this. Trading is a get poor quick or get rich slow patience game. If you take the long view on trading, everybody, If you position size conservatively, your entries, position size, all the stuff you're supposed to do, let your winners run, get out quickly if you're wrong. You're not going to make a fortune overnight doing this. But look 5 years down the road. Look 10 years down the road. Don't get involved in what's my P&L today. You know, maybe look at your monthly P&L, right? But from day to day, it doesn't really matter. This is the long game, right? If you have an edge and you can repeat the edge every day in the market, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but you're going to, if you have the correct setups and the right methodology, over time, you should win more than you lose. You should have an edge, just like Vegas. They win hands, they lose hands, they win rolls of the dice, they lose rolls of the dice. But in the long run, they have an edge, they have a mathematical edge, and that's why they make money. They don't get all upset and clutch their pearls if they have, you know, one losing hour or even one losing day. There's casinos that have losing days, especially with high limit baccarat. I used to live in Las Vegas. So remember, trading is a get poor quick or get rich slow game. You can get poor very quickly, or if you do the right things, you can get rich slow. So remember, marathon, not a sprint. Don't let any one trade upset the apple cart, throw you off your game, send you into a tailspin, right? It's just one of the next 1,000 trades. So anyway, hope this was helpful for you. This was a good reminder for me when I read this, and thanks to DFX Sniper. Johan says, always grateful to get consolidation from this channel, especially in days like this turbulent week. Wisdoms from veteran like Greg, Steve, and Frank really help calm me down and get focused. Oh, well, I'm glad, Johan. Just remember, you know, everybody's going to have a bad day here and there. They're going to, you know, it's called a drawdown. We all go through them. The best traders in the world go through them. But how you handle yourself while you're going through this drawdown is going to have a huge effect on how you're going to do in the near future. I promise you. If you've gotten beat up today a little bit, man, take a day off, reduce your position size by 90% if you still want to stay in the game, right? Until you start, you know, having some profitable trades and get your confidence back. But please don't try to go out and revenge trade and try to get back any money that you lost today. It just, I can guarantee you this, it works a lot less than you would think. And you're going to lose a huge percentage more than you're going to win if you revenge trade and try to go after. So yeah, just know it's part of the game. Just get your bearings again and dip your toe back in the water when you feel good and you feel good mentally. Johan says, like a timeout coach during a basketball game. There you go. That's a good analogy. New Trader U says, that is great, Johan. We have all been through this type of market many times. It does get easier with good trading system. That's true. If you have confidence in your trading system, you know, you're not going to get all freaked out about it. We've seen it before. We've been through it a million times. You know, oh my gosh, Steve and I have been through, I don't know how many big sell-offs. Holy smokes, you know. This is pretty light in the big scheme of things. David says, agreed, Johan. One of the best things of this channel is on days like this when we can get some guidance and mental stability from the pros. Oh, thank you, David. That's kind of you. But, you know, I know David. I know Johan. You guys, I would think you think this way anyway, right? ENSG. Oh. Yeah, I think I have that on my list, don't I? Yeah, I do have it on my list, Kamal. So I'll go through that in just a second. Pretty good though, except for the volume. It's a beautiful sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, and a V1. I think it rejected the 50 RSI today though. Let's take a look and see if it did. Yeah, it did. It's 49.72. It went under. It went over 50 and now back under. It's a great setup. I like the false breakout from this low. I like the V1. I like the rejection of the -1 ATR channel and the close over the 50. It just has one little issue with it for the way that I trade anyway, and that's it was over 50. And remember, we have this big down bar. We have rallied. We're right about halfway, and it rejected it here halfway, here halfway, here halfway, and it's just about halfway right now. But the volume would keep me out of that trade, only 120,000. Frank says, don't lose hope, Johan. Nah, Johan's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Right? But it's good advice. Don't lose heart, but it's just one losing day and next thousands and thousands and thousands of trading day. Don't let one trading day, change your lifestyle or make yourself want to, jump in a well or anything like that, right? All right. Before we start looking at new ones, let's take a look at current ones. All right, AvVibe looks fine. Again, it tested the halfway of the washout bar 1, 2, 3 times. That's good. It just means that there were no more sellers in this area. Everyone gave up selling here, and that's why it moved up. It's about break even on the trade, just slightly under by about 10 cents. So I'll be keeping this one. Amazon is definitely on the chopping block for sure. It didn't go under 30, did it? I don't think so. No, 33, 35. So I will be getting out of this. I don't like to, I don't want to, but I have to. It's my rules, right? It's a close back under the 200-day moving average. Those are my rules for deep dip buys. I have to follow them. So I will be exiting with a loss today. Gold, I have gold. It is down 1.02% today. My end of day trigger or end of day signal on this is if it closes under 30. I got in with an under 30 over 30. Now, it gapped down. It was horrible. Went all the way down. It's possible this could close back above 30 by the end of the day. And if it does, I will keep it. Otherwise, I will have to take the loss. Netflix is just a big hot mess and it's out of its hairdo. This was a horrible trade, man. Horrible trade, but we all have them. And it was a legit, it was a good trade that turned out bad. It was a 520 crossover. And I'm definitely on the chopping block today. SPY, again, just buying this at the close. I'll hold it overnight, sell it at tomorrow's open. The one swing trade doing well today for me is the Qs. Down, I don't know, it could hit the profit target by the end of the day if we have a big sell-off at the end, but it's a nice feeling to have a little short position. I'll tell you what, when all your other stuff's long. So this one helped. The rest were day trades, right? Yeah, the rest were day trades. Thanks, Frank. Soldier on. That's right. This is the NASDAQ composite. We're down here at the -3rd ATR channel. This is usually the time to go shopping, but there's not a clear signal on this. I'll have to have a clear signal before I can get involved. The question is the market up on the year? Is the NASDAQ up on the year? I guess it is a little. Yeah, like 1.42%. Is the S&P up on the year? Yeah, it is. And is the Dow up on the year? Yeah, it is. Not a lot, though. Not compared to where we were at all. Lovis says, looking for deep dip buys. I noticed a lot of stocks that gapped way below the 200 SMA at the open. Does that mean anything? Where there may be a lot of stop losses that triggered at the 200 SMA? It's possible. Yeah, that's, I guess a little off the subject, but that's why I wait till the end of the day, because those market makers do see, where all the orders are, and the market tends to want to go where the orders are, where the most volume's going to be, right? It's like a Cookie Monster. If it goes down, it runs out of cookies to eat. It's like it goes back up to look for cookies to eat. See what I mean? If it goes up, there's no cookies, goes back down. So yeah, I think you could make the case for that. It probably depends on a lot of different things, but I would imagine that there were a lot of stop losses right at the 200-day SMA, and definitely possibly that's why they all got hit. All right, let's look at some potentials for today. Here's Clorox. All right, so this is up today on a down day. So right off the bat, that's positive. I believe we had an under 30, over 30. Let's take a look. Yeah, we have an under 30, over 30, and a V1. It's pretty good. Now, here's the low of the previous range. Here's the low. We bounced up, came down, broke down, down, down. But this low now that used to be support is resistance above. And so, yes, we have an under 30, over 30, and a V1. That's good. It's great. You know, it's really good. And it's wonderful. But what concerns me about this trade is that here's the previous low with the resistance above. If there was a double bottom and a bullish divergence here, meaning we went red, green, red, that might change my mind a little bit. But as is, I think I'm going to pass on this because the previous low, the range, is the resistance above. It's right up there. Who knows? It might go zooming up, but you know, I just have to make my decision on what I have on the current day, and that concerns me. But it is a confluence, under 30, over 30. Let's look over on the weekly. See, the weekly makes it tougher because the weekly, Lilia, if you're out there, look on the weekly. If we were doing our lesson, I would say, what's going on in the week? And you would say, oh, it bounced off the 200-day, which is good also. And that is also good. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, you could certainly make a case for it. If I did buy this, though, I would use halfway of the washout bar here as my stop. But I'm just going to go ahead and pass on this one, although I am torn. I am torn when I look at the weekly and I see the rejection of the 100 on the week and the rejection of the 30 and the V1. But it's just this low of this range that's resistance above that concerns me. TLT. Well, yesterday I said this, and so I guess I better follow through. We went down, under, closed above. Remember I said I didn't like it, too chasey. That was a good move. I said if we go under 30 and over 30 again, a higher low under 30, over 30, then that would be of interest to me. And let's see, did we go under 30 today? Ooh, that's tough. Looks like it bounced right at the 30. You know, the other thing too, if we want to look at a Fibonacci perspective here, if we look at this low to this high, did we come back to 50%? 50%'s right here. So we did test it, close below it. Tell you what, this is what I'm going to do on this trade. If it closes above that 50 Fibonacci point, I will buy. If not, I won't buy it, because from the low to the high, under 50, if it could get over 50 and a bounce at the 30, I would like it. So I am considering buying TLT, but the rule I'm going to make for myself here, everybody, is it's going to have to close above the 50 Fibonacci point of this low to this high, retracement back. So 139.90 is going to be my line in the sand on here. If it went under 30, over 30, I'd feel a little better about it, but it did not quite get under 30. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, let me do this one more time. Yeah, it did. Under 30, over 30. But I'm still going to see if we can close above that 50 50 Fibonacci point. Better get my notes ready here. Okay, next up. Edit. This does look like it went under 30. Yep. This is an under 30, over 30 false breakout to the downside over here, right, Lilia? Over here's the low. We went under it, back over it, so it's false breakout the downside. Under 30, over 30 has a nice confluence there of the negative third ATR channel and the 200. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly I kind of like. It's in the value zone. Not too bad, but I still think I am going to look at TLT if it can close above there. But that's not bad. Not bad at all. Merck, I guess I should have taken Merck yesterday with the under 30, over 30. The halfway of the washout bar concerned me. It is up nicely today. It looks like it is closing above the 5-day EMA, which it has not done for quite a long time. I'm not going to chase it here. I'd like to see this move into the value zone, have a little bit of a pullback, come back, test the negative 1 ATR channel, look for a V1 or V2. I think that would be the best approach. Tilray, wow. Talk about a pullback into the value zone and sideways motion. Lots of sideways motion going on here. This is what I'm talking about, sideways motion, everybody, and looking for a V1. Not this kind of stuff. Down, yes, V2, but it's just down and back up. That usually leads to this kind of stuff. This is, when I say sideways motion, this is building a base. There's consolidation here. There are equal amount of buyers and sellers. If I could get a V1 or a V2 this week, it'd be fantastic. It'd be a great risk to reward ratio compared to possible gain. ENSG, I think this is the one that we talked about. False breakout to the downside and a V1, but this has already rejected the 50 RSI earlier in the day, and it only has 129,000 shares. So for me, not enough. Silicon Motion Technology, we came down, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. It's a little high on the weekly. I don't like that we're under the negative third ATR channel. It's a little bit of an awkward higher low V1. It is a V2, excuse me. It is a V2. It did go under 30. Under 50, over 50. That's good, but this guy right here, it's this big down bar over here that concerns me. How are we doing on time? Oh, I better hustle. Verizon, it's a big V1 for sure. Looks like it already rejected the 50, so I would stay away from that. GDX, I don't see anything there. CTAS, big up bar here, Lilia, right? Big up bar. Where should it probably stop if it comes back down? Probably here. If it does get back to there, I would go intraday and look for a intraday trade on the intraday bars based upon coming back to the halfway. Coca-Cola, looks like consumer discretionaries are doing pretty well here. I don't see anything there. SPTN, oh, that looks good, but it's too extended. Too extended for me anyway. And AV, me personally, I like TLT the best if and only if I can close above 139.90. So I better turn my attention to current positions here. Amazon, I'm going to have to pull the plug on Amazon, unfortunately. I'm just going to do that right now. Netflix, I'm going to have to pull the plug on Netflix. Although I think I'm going to wait on this one. Waiting for the SPY overnight trade. TLT, if it closes above 139.90, I'm in. And I think that's it. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of Netflix right here, just so I can concentrate. Okay. I'm out of Netflix. I am out of Amazon. I'm keeping AdVibe. I may have to sell gold. Looks like I am going to have to sell gold. Oof. Walmart I don't have. Keeping AdVibe. Keeping my shorts on Qs. So what I'm really looking at here is TLT. That's what I'm really looking at. If it can close above 139.90. Let me make sure I'm out of everything. Okay. Dan says, Greg, would you look at ARC? Ooh, my goodness. Well, look, it's coming into an area. Look, it's a 34 RSI, and under 30, over 30 would be good, especially with the confluence of the 100. I wouldn't buy it yet. I'd like to see it gap down, reverse back up, have a V1, under 30, over 30. That's what I would wait for. Greg, your losing casino, not pearl clutching, and Cookie Monster trading metaphors are some of the best I've heard. Up there with Frank's poems. Excellent. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But I have to say that the Cookie Monster metaphor is not mine originally. That comes from Carrie Lavorne. That comes from Carrie. Carrie is the one that taught me the V1s and the V2s. And he uses the Cookie Monster metaphor. And the losing casino, yes, that one's mine. But thank you, bud. Mark says, what do you think of ACB? At the very least, Mark, I would wait for this to reject the 200-day and close above. 200-day is a key level here. So I would not be surprised if we come down tomorrow, test that. If we could test it and then close back above it, then I would buy it there and use a stop with a close below the 200-day. But it's not enough for me right here. I'd really like to see it go down, wash out this low, reject the 200-day moving average, and then close above that. Then you would feel, I think I would anyway, I'd feel better about taking the trade knowing that prices below were rejected. Boston Scientific's okay. It is a return to value. It is a couple days sideways motion. It's a rejection of the 20 and a V1 and a rejection of this low. That's not bad. I just don't think there's enough on CVS for me to get interested in CVS. It's a higher low V1. It's not in the value zone. CarMax. Steve's in CarMax. This looks fairly good, actually. I mean, we had a lower high here and we didn't wash out the low. That's the only thing. But the 520 cross is in play. So, you know, if I were to base this trade off of V1 or V2, my stop would be real close here at about 120.60. But gets bonus points for the 520 crossover. David says, do you think based upon previous lows, the 380 value for S&P could signal support? I don't know. Let's see. How we doing? 4 minutes. I'm going to have to 380. Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is the low here. We very well might go down and test that, but I would say that there is some support. There would be some kind of buying support here because that's where it bounced last time. Hard to say. I mean, a nice rejection of the 50 would also be good. But yeah, I think there's some inherent support there just because that was there before. Frank says, don't forget, you could have had a V8. I know. Best line ever in this podcast. Frank says, I wouldn't buy Disney with the V8, let alone a V2. How am I doing? 3 minutes. Alibaba. I would wait for an over 30 on Alibaba. That's what I would do. Okay, doesn't look like my bonds. It's close. All right, I think I'm going to have to get rid of gold. Oh, it's getting very close on TLT. All right. I got out of everything, right? Yeah. So let me get TLT queued up here in case I do buy it. It's going to have to close above 390, 139.90. Will it do it? Who knows? We're going to find out. It's getting close. Oh, I really may have to do it. One minute to go. SPY and Qs make a low on the day. Good call there, Steve. You nailed that one, bud. Now bonds are pulling back away. Well, I guess I'm going to get a good deal on the S&P close, that's for sure. Yep. Doesn't look like I'm going to buy bonds. So looks like I'm going to buy the S&P. That's it. Take some lumps today. Just grateful that I had some nice day trades today. That's the one good thing about volatility is that you can have some nice day trades. Looks like everything is ending up on its low of the day. Man, I may hit my profit target in the last little second here. Look how close I am to that 308.31. Close, but no cigar. Okay. So I did buy the SPY and only the SPY at 381.42. Wow. Okay, so there's the new overnight SPY trade. And then I did get out of gold with the close under the 30 RSI. Yeah, I got out of Amazon with the close under the 200. So all I have now is AdVibe, overnight SPY trade, and keeping the short Qs. So, all right. So listen, any of my students that have positions up on the board, if you have any changes for me today, please let me know. If you could, even if you reminded me above, or told me earlier, if you could remind me again at the end, just so I make sure I don't leave anything out, because I know Johan bought some puts, so that helped. But before we get to that, just want to quickly remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I think I have a really good course. It's 15 hours, 3 hours each session, 5 sessions. I teach you all my setups. I teach you step by step everything, so that you'll be able to learn how to trade them correctly. Emergency stops, end of day stops, trailing stops, profit targets, position size. That's what I teach. So I know if you take the course, you'll be a better trader. I know that for sure. So if you are interested, just send me an email. The email is in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do, just say, Greg, I'm interested in the one-on-one course, and I'll reply and say, great, let's set up a Skype call, get to know each other a little bit. Call's free. I just want to learn more about you and your trading and your goals. Then it's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. And then when we're done with the call, you can think about it. And if you decide you want to go forward, you can just email me back and we'll get it scheduled. All right. And then secondly, if you're not able to do the one-on-one courses, I do have an online course, the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. It's available now on Udemy. It's a great course. It's step by step. I teach you that entire strategy. I think the average price on Udemy is like $13, $15. It's certainly worth that for 9.5 hours of video and everything I teach in there. So if you're interested in that, the link's in the description of this video as well. And then lastly, if you could hit the thumbs up button, I would really, really appreciate it. It helps to build the channel, helps to keep the channel around, lets YouTube know that there could be some valuable content here so they get out and share it more. So, okay, that takes care of business. And let's see. Tracy is in TLT. Okay. Well, it is legitimate. It is legitimate with the under 30 over 30. Looking forward to our lesson tonight, by the way, Trace. 6:30. But it does make sense there. It does make sense where that's at. Tracy and Paxton. Okay. Steve exited UGL. Steve and Gary. Okay. So I haven't heard from Gary, so I'm pretty sure he got out though. Yeah, he would get out. So let's take that off the board. Paxton says, thanks, Greg. You bet, bud. In TLT, got that. Kamal is out of Crisp. Yep. Good trade, bud. Out of DKNG. Yep. And NVTA. All right. Mamal is out of Amazon. Good trade, Mamal. Even if you don't make money, it's still a good trade because you followed your rules. Out of Gold. Yep. Good trade. You followed your rules. And out of NVTA. Johnson is out of Gold. Okay, so that takes everybody out of Gold. We gave it a shot, right? We gave it a shot. It didn't work. And that's how it goes sometimes. And out of Netflix. Yeah, Netflix was ugly. Oof. Johan is out of NVTA. In KMX. Okay. And he did buy Qs, which are definitely in the money now for sure, because they're puts. He bought the 315, so it's at 309. So he is. Those are definitely in the money. Okay. Glad you got those. Kamal says, teaching question. How do you look at volume on the V1s and or the flush? You know what I've noticed, Kamal, on the V1s and the V2s, I've noticed that the best ones for me are the ones that flush with the highest amount of volume, like this one here, right? We washed out, came back up, and a lot of times on a V2, you'll see the day 2 bar have tons of volume, the flush bar, and then the third bar that triggers maybe not so much volume, but I've really found that the flush bar having a large amount of volume to me is a good indication. Jonathan says, cheers, time to put the kids to bed and watch football. There you go. It's good seeing you, Jonathan, and hope you have a good evening and enjoy your game. Johnson says, also, Greg, I bought RKT for a pullback since it has given up all of the previous day's gain. No, not for the board, but as FYI. I will let you know how that goes. I have a tight $1 stop on it. Well, let's look at it. Oh, that's that rocket stock, right? It's come all the way back? Oh my. Wow, isn't that interesting? Well, I like you buying it here better than up there, that's for sure. I think we talked about this yesterday. I think the best place to buy it would be right there in the value zone. But interesting. Yeah, keep me up to date on that, Johnson. I'd like to know how that works out. Everyone still in Amazon here? David, Johan, Kamal, Carlos. So, hey, could rally up. I'll tell you where I'm looking for my next shot on Amazon. Doesn't mean that one's going to work either, but it would be right here at the 250-day moving average. Amazon does back test well over the 250. Doesn't get back there a lot. So when it does get back there, I'm going to take a shot. I took a shot on the 200. That wouldn't worked for a couple days, but gave it up today. But that's how it goes. So Tracy's in TLT. That is interesting. We'll talk about that tonight, Trace, in our lesson. Looking forward to that. Wow, look at our board. It has really consolidated, hasn't it? Kamal says, teaching question. How could we have traded NVTA better? Should there have been a hard stop at the break even or the 200 MA since the price had moved 1 ATR? I don't really see it here. I mean, moving 1 ATR is good. I like to really see it move 1.5 ATRs, but even with that, Kamal, if you would have bought, I can't remember if you bought it here or here, but even if you did get out with the close, being that it moved 1.5 or 1 ATRs, getting out at break even, I don't know. I mean, under over 200, I don't use, if it moves 1.5 ATRs, I don't go to break even on an under over the 200. I really just wait for the 200. And then as far as a close below the previous day's low, even if it moved 1.1 ATR, well, it closed below yesterday's low today and also closed below the 200-day. No, I don't see how you could have traded it any better, honestly, Kamal. I mean, if you would have got out at break even, you would have sold a little bit, but no. I mean, look, we had sideways motion. We had 3 rejections of the 200-day. It started off nicely. But it closed below the 200-day, right? Yeah, it closed below. I think you traded it perfectly, honestly, bud. Johan says Amazon as well. Kamal, you're not in Amazon. Okay. David is out of Amazon. That leaves Carlos. I think Carlos is working. I'm not sure, so I will leave it up. Got out in the morning at a smaller loss. Oh, good for you. Wow, look at our boards. Look at my little positions over here, little nothings. Add vibe, SPY, and, and the Q shorts. Yeah, you're right, Johan. Netflix did have a lot of support around the lows. And you could be tempted. I could have been tempted to keep this because it rejected the previous, rejected the low over here, and also that it rejected the 100-day moving average. I definitely could have been tempted, but I want to trade the correct way, and my entry signal was the 520 crossover. So if it uncrosses, I have to get out. I don't want to go, okay, 520 crossover. Oh, well, here's a new one. I'll keep it, right? Like if it went under the 200 and over the 200 and under the 30 and back over the 30, then I might morph into that trade. But this, not enough. All right, what's happening after hours? Anything exciting? Apple's down. Ad Vibe's down. My Q's down. SPY down. Bonds up 14 cents. Tracy, where did you get filled on TLT? If you're still listening, where did you get filled on TNT? VIX was up 4.28% today. I guess that's not surprising, right? Yeah, big day. And Verizon was up as well. So it doesn't look like a whole lot's going on after hours. But I don't know, Tracy, if you're still out there, but if you are, let me know what you bought TLT at. Johan says, NVTA seems quite interesting to me, since I would imagine around the closing price or day low would actually be somewhere Kamal would be eyeing to enter as a new trade. Well, that is kind of the classic Kamal technique. 139. I think Kamal would want to see it wash out that low, though. Did it? 37.70, 37.71, not quite. 139.54. Hey, you're already up in after hours. Right now, after hours, it's 139.61. All right. Kamal says, there is a gap risk tomorrow for all the Qs. It might gap up, sure, but the volume on the Qs is substantial. Yes, it is. And, I'm short the Qs, but if we were to go under 30, over 30, I would literally cover my short and I would go long. I would reverse and go long. Johnson says, it is Warren Buffett shopping time. That's right. That's right. I've said this before, but stocks are the only thing that everyone wants to buy at full price. and they don't want to buy on sale. And that really is the time to buy on sale. I want to buy them on sale. I'm just waiting for a signal to let me know it's okay to get up to the cash register and buy. Kamal says those low risk trades are not great when the S&P and Qs are downtrending market. But yeah, you're right, Johnson. It is a shopping time here. You know, the old saying, sell to everybody when they just have to buy it. They're euphoric and want to buy it. Buy from everyone when everyone's dumping and selling. But you have to have some rules as well, right? You can't just randomly, I think it's low enough. You know, a V1 or a V2 at the very least is good because it shows a rejection of some prices below and a move back up. All right. So listen, if we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. I really love this saying. I like to say it every day. Just to remind everybody, let's try to go out and do something nice for somebody. Just a smile, wave, hello, be pleasant. It'll make their day. It will make them happy. Them being happy should make you happy. If you come across an animal that needs help or just comes across an animal wants to say hi, you know, help it out, say hi to it, give it some kind words. The dog or the animal, whatever it is, it will appreciate it, and it should make you feel good as well. All right. Lova says, when looking at a recent big down bar, as in TGG, how big is too big? 1 ATR? Yeah, 1 ATR is the rule. Because if it's only 1 ATR, then that's just the normal move for the day. There's nothing out of the ordinary. If it's larger than 1 ATR, it means that the move was so strong that it was stronger than noise. It was stronger than one standard deviation. So yeah, you know, a real big bar to me, I mean, if it's just a little bit over 1 ATR, okay. But if it's 1.5 ATR, something like that, I'm definitely out. But this one is what? 1, 2, 3, almost 4 ATRs. There was a ton of selling going on. Ton of selling. Can it bounce back up? Yeah, but people that missed out selling up here, if it gets back up there, you're going to have more selling going on because people would love to get back out at this price. But yeah, the answer to your question, if it's, you know, significantly larger than 1 ATR. Kamal says Shopify. Kamal says Shop has the perfect low risk setup today at the close. Well, Kamal is the Shopify master. That's for sure. I've seen him trade Shopify like a champion several times. Johan says, true, Kamal. I just want to stay mostly risk off at the moment. I think that's good. Lois says, thank you. I think I remember you saying that at some point. Yeah, larger than 1 ATR. Okay, everybody. Well, a little bit of a punch in the face today as far as the market goes, but that's how it goes sometimes. Remember, keep your wits about you. Stay patient. Don't go rushing into a trade just because you want to make the money back. Of course you want to make the money back. We all want to make the money back. But just think about it this way. You're going to have a better chance to make it back if you stay calm, you stay patient, and just wait for the right next setup. The chances of making your money back that way are higher than if you try to bottom fish here, if you try to revenge trade. So, you know, if you have to trade tomorrow and you're feeling unstable about it, trade 10%. If you usually trade 100 shares, trade 10, trade 5 shares. That way you're in the trade. You're not letting rust build up. But, you know, with a move down like this, I would say it's more likely we go down than up from here. So, okay. Well, listen, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate you coming. Kamal says, thanks, Greg. Have a great day. Johan says, thanks, Greg, and everyone, for an awesome session. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Johan. You too, bud. if you could hit the thumbs up button before you click on out of here, I would really appreciate that. And so have a good rest of your day. Be good, be safe, and remember what we talked about. Let's be patient tomorrow. Let's not try to rush into anything or force anything. Let's just be patient till the market tells us that the bottom's in, and maybe we'll find a good swing back up. All right? Okay, on the way out here, I have to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, so take care, everyone. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.